From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
After months of turmoil, voters in San Mateo County will finally get their chance to weigh in on the effort to remove the embattled county sheriff. Good evening, I'm Ryan Yamamoto. This all stems from an independent investigation ordered by the County Board of Supervisors accusing Sheriff Christina Corpus of corruption, abuse of power, and more. Tomorrow, voters will cast their ballots in a special election on Measure A, which would change the county charter, giving supervisors the ability to remove the sheriff. Lauren Tom spoke to a deputy who wants to see his boss lose her job.
In San Mateo County, voters will take to the polls to decide on a measure that will ultimately determine the fate of law enforcement leadership in the county. And for deputies like Elliot Storch, it could mark a turning point to restore trust and honor within the sheriff's department, something Storch says Sheriff Christina Corpus campaigned on but didn't deliver on.
It's absolutely affected morale. And one of Sheriff Corpus's greatest accomplishments here at the sheriff's office is that she has created a culture of fear and retaliation.
Storch says the fears within the department intensified last November. On the same day an independent report calling for Corpus's resignation was released, the sheriff arrested Union President Carlos Tapia for alleged time card fraud. Deputies argue the arrest was payback for his criticism of the sheriff.
Having President Tapia get arrested was a red line, and it showed us that Sheriff Corpus would do anything possible to disrespect and mistreat the people who work here, and that she would do anything possible to maintain her power, even at the expense of a good man's life.
The charges against Tapia were dropped, but tensions remain high. The scathing 400-page report accused Corpus of using racist and homophobic slurs, fostering a toxic culture, and placing power in the hands of her chief of staff, Victor Allende. The report found Allende to be unqualified for executive decision-making and found he had a personal relationship with Corpus, creating a conflict of interest. Both Corpus and Allende have denied the allegations. Corpus's lawyer, Brad Gage, echoes what the sheriff has maintained all along, that she's been wrongfully targeted for being the county's first Latina sheriff, and she fired back with a $10 million discrimination lawsuit against county officials.
The election itself is geared only to target her. Measure A has a timeout in 2028. So basically it's never existed before, and it won't exist after her term as the sheriff. And that's very concerning to us because it appears to be improper, discriminatory, and retaliatory.
Critics of Measure A say there are already avenues to remove Corpus from office through a recall election or through a civil grand jury investigation that could lead to a trial. They say Measure A would give unprecedented power to the Board of Supervisors. But caught in the middle are residents and lawmakers in San Mateo County. Some cities, like Millbrae, rely exclusively on the sheriff's office for public safety. Millbrae Mayor Andrew Fung says the sooner the focus is put back on frontline services, the better.
Ultimately, we need to make sure that everybody feel comfortable with the sheriff's office leadership, and I think that's what we look forward to.
Voting on what accountability means for every elected official in the county.
So we should mention if Measure A does pass, Sheriff Corpus would not immediately lose her job. 4 out of 5 supervisors would have to vote to remove her and provide justification. Corpus would then have the opportunity to defend herself in public.